Another edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, Jim Goodman alongside the director of Simulcasting at Keeneland, and we have a stakes race on the Thursday card. Stakes races for the rest of the week. Thursdays is a marathon on the turf, 1.5 miles, the Sycamore, and really well-matched group. Tough handicapping challenge, and I went back and forth on my pick. I eventually settled with Eagle Poise, who is 12-1, but he's a marathon specialist, and Graham Motion's very good with these marathon types, and it's third off a layoff, which is often a horse's best start, and his second was better than his first off the layoff, and so if his third's better than his second, he could be right there. I originally picked Olympic Thunder, the 4, which is another bit of a price at 8-1 on the morning line, who seems to be peaking, so I'd have to use him. And then, I liked Sun Tracer a little bit. I liked Nutello a little bit, a couple of others. So ended up picking Eagle Poise, and I'm going to use him with the 3, 4, and 7 in exactas. Olympic Thunder is kind of my second pick. But I'm going to spread out even more in the pick 4. What about you?
Yeah, this is a great race. I don't think you can toss anybody. You can't really. Maybe Nutello, but I think you can make a case. I mean, he ran pretty well in the Sword Dancer. Got beat 2 3/4 by Big Blue Kitten. So what would Big Blue Kitten be? 4-5 in here probably. So this is a great race. I went to the Kentucky Downs race, the Kentucky Turf Cup Grade 3 at 1.5 miles. Those horses are, if they can run there, they can certainly run at Keeneland because it's a very testing turf course. Timarain came out of that race the winner, but Olympic Thunder and Sun Tracer were right there, and I think Sun Tracer probably got the worst trip, so I'm going to take Sun Tracer on top. He also ran a half length behind Dandino in the St. Ledger at Arlington on Million Day. Najar came out of that same race. You've got a horse, Rai Strada ran the Arlington Million, and you've got Reflecting for Sue McGahee. So you can make a case for a lot of horses. Eagle Poise is your horse. So I'm going to take Sun Tracer on top with as many as I can afford in the trifecta. I'm putting a lot of stock in that Kentucky Downs race, though, because I think the 3 horses that finished 1, 2, 3 there all could win this race. Timarain, Olympic Thunder, and Sun Tracer. But so could Rai Strada, so could Eagle Poise. But Sun Tracer barely on top for me.
Well, always in these daily podcasts, do a look at the late pick 4, and that starts in the 6th race on Thursday. What's your pick 4 ticket look like?
Well, I started to take a stand with Frack Daddy, and I can't do that. I mean, he's either going to show up and win by 5, or he's going to throw a clunker like he did at Saratoga in the Saranac. I think he just didn't like the turf course that day. His first time on turf was August 24th at Saratoga, and he won easily at 7-1. So he obviously ran all the Grade 1s, all the Derby Trail races this summer. If he's on his game and he likes his turf course, I think he wins. But I'm going to have to go deeper here. I'm going to take Comes the Dream, the 2, Frack Daddy, the 4, the 6, Fear the Kitten, you can never toss, a Ramsey horse, even though he doesn't own it anymore, and the 9, Tahoe Lake, old class horse that I think might still have a win in him. So I'm going to go 4 deep here. In the second leg, I'm going to take Hard Aces, the 3, and the 11, pick of the litter. And then I'm going to go as deep as I can possibly afford in the 8th race, the Sycamore, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 horses, and then 2, 5, 7 in the last, and then the ticket's going to wind up costing, I believe, $84. If you can afford that, if you can't, cut it down and single one of the horses in the second leg. But the last leg, I'm going to go 2, 5, 7 with. Let me get my notes here. Serving Time was one of them, I know, and Sherry Angel and Willawando coming out of Presque Isle. So 2, 4, 6, 9 with 3, 11 with as many as you can afford with 2, 5, 7.
I'm going to go just 2 horses in the first leg, Frack Daddy and Comes the Dream. Comes the Dream's the one I like. I thought he ran against the bias of that inside speed the day Frack Daddy beat him. So I think at a better price he could beat him, but I think those are the best 2. Then I'm going to use 4 in the next leg. The Hard Aces is the one I like the best, but I'm going to use the 11 also, plus the 1 and the 10. And I'm going to use 6 horses, Sun Tracer, Nutello, Temerain, Najar, the 3 whose name escapes me at the moment, and Eagle Poise, the horse that I like to win the race. So 6 in there. And then I'm going to, because I've spread out in those other races, I'm going to single serving time, 2 for 3 for Mike Bell at Keeneland, and comes off a nice win and steps up. But I'm not nearly as comfortable singling in this last race as I was on Wednesday with the Golden Galaxy horse. So, but I'm going to single serving time to keep the ticket at a manageable level. So 2-4 with 1, 3, 10, 11 with 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 with 5 for me in the pick 4. And it's another great weekend coming up with Lexus Raven Run on Saturday and Stake on Sunday. And it's Keeneland Select Day on Sunday. So if you're a Keeneland Select customer, we'll be doing a handicapping seminar before the races in the sales pavilion, and had a lot of fun with that last year. And it's a special day for all the Keeneland Select customers. Get some special deals, and Keeneland gets to show you how much they love you on Sunday.
It's also Military Day, and we're calling it Heroes Day this year. So we're going to expand not only the military personnel, but firefighters and policemen as well. So it's a pretty cool day on Sunday. It's always nice when they recognize the people who served our country and our communities, and that's a good thing that we always do here at Keeneland.
Yeah, it's really really neat, and to see those guys there and ladies, and to be honored is a neat, always a neat day of racing. And so hopefully we'll get good weather for that on Sunday. Best of luck to everybody with your picks, and we'll be back to break down the Friday card in our next edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.